So far in this mod pack, I have, well, built a lot of create things, and they're kind of just out in the open, and for good reason. I am basically broke in the game. Yeah, I know, sad. But today that might change because I'm going to go mining. I'm going to mine quite a few resources out of the tunnel that I just created, possibly even dive down into the depths a little bit further, and hopefully by the end of the day, we're going to have ourselves Tom's storage set up. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to be getting into our first actual centralized storage system. And this is going to be game changing. Now, as I head back down into the mines, last episode, I made this Tetra pickaxe. And as I use it, it's going to level up, but it is a lot of manual mining. I am going to be mining pretty manually, but there's a lot of cool resources that I should be able to gather through this huge area that has been mined out. Oh boy. I better, I better solve some problems here. Oh, there we go. Got him. Anyways, back to business. Yes, I'm going to be using this Silk Touch pick to grind out all these resources. And thankfully, the Silk Touch pick is going to make this very nice because me getting these raw basic materials can then be crushed down, giving me a bonus as if we had some sort of efficiency. And then this even has a resource that it can give us, being redstone, which is very necessary, especially since Create is very redstone hungry. Oh, and on top of that, we're going to be getting these X-purified ores, which are going to help me be able to mine even faster as we continue on. However, I'm going to have to break these by hand later on. Now, as I'm mining, I just got a message saying a part has settled. And so as I continue to hone this and use this more and more, my parts that are on this will actually start to get better and better. And so it's kind of a cool little thing that we made last episode. This Tetra pick is very, very worth setting up. So I now am ready to hone this tool. I've also mined out just about every block I could have mined out of this whole tunnel that we dug out with our contraption. And so now it's time to go process everything in the processing machine that I set up last episode. And I'm pretty excited about that because this is going to give us a ton of iron. Even though I made a little iron farm, this is going to be a significant amount of iron, allowing me to significantly change everything. Like, we will now have tons of iron. I can make also tons of brass and also tons of andesite alloy, which is fantastic. So I now get to put this to use. Let's go ahead and drop this all in. I'm going to send all of the iron at first. Now, there's some things that actually won't work. For example, this thorium from the Create New Age doesn't actually have a recipe in this block form, which is kind of funny considering it utilizes Create. So I'm surprised it doesn't have a recipe that breaks it down using the crushing wheels. Maybe that was an oversight. But things like coal and redstone, all of this should be able to be crushed down. This cannot be crushed down. However, it can be smelted, which is kind of nice. So yes, this is going to continue to process up. And we are going to start to see tons of redstone building up in here, iron blocks, just like this. And all of this is coming from those ores. So now that we have tons of resources flowing in, and I now have a ton of clay, I probably should clear that out. We can now start to take a look at the Tom's storage mod. So Tom's simple storage has a lot of interesting things, but it is basically a storage mod. You connect a terminal to an inventory, and then you can see the items that are inside of the inventory. And then if you have a crafting terminal, you can auto craft from them or pull crafts into a crafting grid from the storages. And then you can connect multiple storages with these inventory cable connectors. Now, in this pack, to get started with this, we do need precision mechanisms. We also need some display links. These are all very easy to make. The precision mechanisms, however, they are a little bit more expensive. And then also we need sturdy sheets. Now, sturdy sheets requires some lava and also to be pressed a couple of times and need to generate some powdered obsidian, which in our case is probably not going to be too difficult since we already have the obsidian to be able to do this. And the crushing wheels from last episode. Now, I tell you what, I cannot wait to get this crafting terminal because up to this point, I've been doing everything by pulling the items individually out of the chests and putting them into a regular crafting table and just doing the whole vanilla. And this is modded Minecraft after all. So it is very nice once we have some sort of manageable inventory. And that's a real big game changer for me. Now, the precision mechanism automation is actually quite simple. It's just 3 deployers that need to have 3 different items that are running in line. And then we have to worry about the looping process that is involved in making this. So it has to go through 5 times. Now you could make a row of these that were 5 long. That would require quite a few of these cogwheels and quite a few of the deployers, but you don't actually have to do that. Instead, one of the best ways to do this is by utilizing this thing called an item vault. So the item vault is very, very simple. It can basically transfer items from one location to the other very fast, like in this instantaneously. So in this particular size and only 1x3, it can only span 3 blocks though, which is perfect though for this particular setup. So we need to think about this. Right here, we're going to have the items flowing out. We're going to send 1 sheet at a time, gold sheet. It's then going to go through its process, but then we need to pick it back up, and we need to pick it up specifically right here. And so I'm going to convert this to have it going in, and this has to be a brass one because we're going to have to filter what is actually being sent into this. Now, the output, it just can be a regular andesite one, just like this, and that is going to send it back around. So if this is flowing through, it's going to kind of loop through until it is completed. Once it is completed, it is then going to go into this particular funnel. And we can actually extend these by right-clicking. All of these can be extended to look a lot better if you absolutely want these to be extended like that. But this is essentially how this is going to go. And whenever we get this first started, it's going to automatically work. But once we actually get a precision mechanism, that's when we can utilize these filter slots. Actually, we can set the filter right now if we absolutely want to. So I'm going to use a regular list filter, and then I'm going to drag the precision mechanism in here. And on our first one, we simply just want it to be a deny list. We want the regular ones, and we want it to have respect data enabled. So this should prevent that from going into this container. So we might not even need this particular funnel to be brass. This one does need to be specifically brass. It's going to be the first thing it interacts with, and it should continue the loop. Now I just got to get power to this. Now I don't know if this is 100% correct, but what I have here is some encased chain drives and then encased chain drives running down, and I'm going to tap into this, and then we're going to find out if the bottom down here is going to be spinning in the appropriate direction. And it is. Perfect. So as soon as we connect this, there we go. We now have a precision mechanism set up, ready to go. We just got to put some gold sheets in here, and also the cogs and buttons, I believe. Oh, not buttons, actually iron nuggets. Yeah, that's right. Now let's go ahead and get this set up. I have the cogwheels, the large cogwheels, and the nuggets. I'm going to put these in with hoppers. And I've just got 32 of each sort of made up. And then I just need to put the sheets in, and that should go in and start producing. As you can see, it's looping through, and because we have the respect data applied, this is going to make sure that it doesn't send unless it is the completed one. And there we go. We now have a completed one. If it also breaks, by the way, the salvage will end up going in here because it can produce some salvage. So there we go. And now we can go ahead and we can just place these in. Now, if I put a whole bunch in here, it will get clogged up, but there is a way to actually detect this in the back, but that's something we'll set up later on when we have full automation of this. For right now, the main purpose of this is to have enough precision mechanisms in order to move on and get the terminal. Now, speaking of the terminal, we are going to need this process ready to go. And we need to basically send lava into this spout. Now, typically you can't just use a bucket on the spout, so we're gonna have to get lava into this via a pump. But if I already had gone through immersive engineering, I could use a wooden barrel, and you can actually fill the wooden barrel up with lava, believe it or not, and it will automatically insert it on the bottom side. But we will eventually get into this whenever we get into immersive engineering. I can't just craft it right now because it requires creosote oil, and yes, we need a little bit of it to make something like that. And immersive engineering has its own progression that is quite strenuous. Now I've kind of got my pump set up, and I'm just going to basically put the lava here. I'm going to put some trapdoors here, and then this will actually pull the lava into this automatically for me. Because, yeah, right-clicking a bucket on here typically doesn't work. I am going to try it, though. I've got some power routed down here from an encased chain drive. So I can just cover these up and make them look a little bit nicer. And then I've just got to get the power up here to my mechanical presses. Now, to just show off the cool part about belts, I'm going to go ahead and link this with a belt, and then link this right here with a belt. And you can see that belts can also be used to transfer power like this. And that's pretty nice. You don't have to just use belts for items. And then to power the mechanical pump, I'm just going to hook this up. Uh-oh. But we've run out of stress. So I think what I'm gonna do is just add another water wheel, and that should be more than enough to be able to supply this this mechanical pump. These water wheels are such an amazing early game source of stress. It is so nice. But you do have to, like I said, gear ratio them up quite a bit. But there we go. Now we have the pump up and running, and we just need to get ourselves some lava. So with the bucket of lava, as you can see, it doesn't actually let you place it in. So if I place it in world though, then it will pull the entire bucket into here. And so this will actually work. And now I just got to take some obsidian and we just got to crush it a little bit. Now, thankfully I only need like one piece, so I should be good. I should be able to toss that in here. And then that is going to go into here and give me the powdered obsidian that I need. And then I should be able to put the powdered obsidian in. Then it presses. We get the sploosh. And there we go. We now have ourselves a sturdy sheet. And this is going to be pretty useful. This is used for making the train related items. So definitely going to be worthwhile. But the big thing that for me that it's used for is going to be in actually crafting, because this is going to be part of a major recipe for the crafting terminal. So I think now at this point, with all of these things sort of crafted up, I can actually make the storage terminal itself right now. And there we go. So now we have the storage terminal, but I do want to upgrade this immediately. I'm going to need a link controller, which requires a redstone link, all of which is very easy to make. And I have everything else ready to go crafted up. I went ahead and just crafted some more of the mechanical crafters. And this is just 6 buttons, just like so. Boop. And yeah, we just put this together. This thing is kind of cool. I've actually never used the link controller, but I think you can assign it to like multiple redstone links, which is kind of cool. Yeah, last but not least is just putting all of this stuff together. And so now, to hope my memory is good, I'm pretty sure the sturdy sheet goes in this side. And then the storage terminal is actually at the very top. I do remember that. And then the crafters all go right here. Crafter Inception. Oh, I only need 6. I actually need 9, don't I? I should have more. And there we go. So now we have all 9 crafters. And then I need my linked controller to be right here. And then last but not least, the middle item that needs to go there is the precision mechanism. So I think my memory serves me right. And now you get to see a new mechanic, because this will actually auto start if you fill in all the slots, but it doesn't auto start right now. The way we can actually force it to start is by giving it a redstone signal. And so now that I've given it a redstone signal, this will then continue the craft. So you don't actually have to build your crafters in like very specific shapes. You can use one big one for the craft. And there we go. We now have a crafting terminal. Oh, this is nice. So this crafting terminal kind of opens up quite a lot. And if I remember, we should be able to put this, like, for example, on here, like on this inventory, and we can see all of the items inside of the inventory that it is connected to. But there are more ways that we can actually interact with this. That is that we can use connectors to connect inventories to the terminal itself. And the recipes for these don't seem too bad. They're just brass sheets to make 8 cables, and then kelp. And then to actually make the connector itself, it just needs a chute. So now with all of these items crafted up, including an inventory connector, I should be able to connect these together, or at least a few of these chests, because I'm going to be rearranging how the actual storage is connected up. But these are inventory cable connectors. They're just going to connect to the storages, and I don't have them connected to these storages, however, because like I said, this is just to sort of play around and test here. But I'm going to place the inventory connector right here, and then all of these inventories should now be connected to the inventory connector, and then we can read this one inventory with our terminal, like this. And now we should be able to see and interact with all of our items that are in those chests. And that also means I can put items in those inventories. Now, taking a look at the interface here, this is sort of the first for me, as I've never really used Tom's storage, but it is very familiar in that it is just sort of like simple storage or many other storage mods. But this I thought was kind of cool. You can actually change how you pull items out and in. If you like AE's style, you can use it, or if you like refined storage's style, there's that. Or even if you like vanilla controls, there they are. That's kind of cool. I'm thinking for right now, I'm going to stick with AE, see what I like. You can also have choose whether or not it will pull from your inventory for crafts. Typically that's okay. And I kind of like that. It'll automatically pull them from your inventory. And if you don't like it, you can just toggle it off. You can also change the way the items are being sorted. And so it looks like there's all kinds of different sort methods. I do like to have sort by item amount, and then you can choose ascending or descending. And then here's the JEI synchronize option. So up here, I have it synchronized with JEI, and that allows me to search JEI up here all together. But it doesn't seem to like interact back and forth. So if you clear this grid, it doesn't actually clear the grid up here, which is probably an oversight. But if you just use the top, you'll be fine. So believe it or not, I actually managed to get all of my inventories in this configuration set up. And so now I can just simply craft everything out of here. Oh, that is so convenient. It's going to make things so much easier, and definitely made crafting up more of these inventory cable connectors a lot easier. So now that this is set up, let's see some other conveniences. We can actually access this terminal wirelessly. We just need a few more resources here, and now it's just super easy to craft all of these things up. And this is also going to lead us into another thing. We actually need to make a vibration mechanism, which is very much like a precision mechanism. However, it does require amethyst shards. With the basic wireless terminal, you can reach up to 16 blocks away, which is all nice, but the advanced one will eventually allow us to access it throughout the entire world, and also even cross-dimensionally once we have a max level beacon. Now, since we already have the precision mechanism set up going, we should be able to make the other mechanism quite easily. But I do need to go back down to the mine, and thankfully gold pickaxes come with innate fortune too. So that's going to be pretty helpful. I'm pretty sure we can fortune the amethyst geode that I had found. Now, we do have a hone available on our tool here, and this is something actually new that I am unfamiliar with. So, okay, so our hone right here will give us efficiency 1 or durability, or we have hone speed. These are all different things. I like efficiency, but I really like durability more. And so I think I'm going to go with durability 1 as the hone. And so these are what you get every time we level these things up. And so now the more I mine with this, it's going to level up again, and then I can hone it again, giving me even more bonuses. And right here, by the way, is that geode that we had found. So if we just mine our way down in here, aha, we should have plenty of materials. Yes, and this is going to get us all that we need for right now. Now we should be able to make this mechanism very, very simply. And I don't know if this has a crafting chance, but let's go ahead and get this set up here. I just need to pull the ingredients out of this, and I am going to need some redstone, and then my filter even needs to come out of here. So I think it's a vibration right here. So all we got to do is add this to the list. And so now this can also operate from this same setup. And I just need to grab a little bit of redstone and then also a couple of cogs, and we should be good. And it looks like this is amethyst cogwheels. So let's grab the cogwheels. Cogwheels go in the middle. Amethyst goes first, and redstone goes last. And then we just put the sheet in. And this is just like the precision mechanism. However, this one is made out of totally different materials. Pretty cool. I actually like this. And the crafting of it's not too difficult. And did that complete? It did. And now we have a vibration mechanism, which we can then use to make a radar. This allows you to look at enemies around you. That's actually kind of cool. We might want to make more of those just to actually have that. So I'm going to put another one in and get that crafted up. I'll use that later. But for right now, we can use that radar in actually making that terminal attachment. So let's go and get this ready to go. I think it is just Tom's. And I think we have everything. And this will give us a base of 64 distance. So there we go. There's a base radar. And then we just need an empty card, which is going to require some paper. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to get more sugarcane because unfortunately the quality crops it doesn't allow you to craft with them, unfortunately. So time to harvest more sugarcane. Just like that, we now have ourselves a empty card, and then that gets combined with our regular wireless terminal, and perfect. Now it says not bound. Does this access automatically? Do you have to shift right click? Okay, so shift right click is now bound to the terminal, and I can now use this card to open it up. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now I'm assuming we can also set a keybind, and I really like to set Control and E to wireless terminal to be able to open them up, and this can go on our belt. And here it is, Tom Simple Storage Open Terminal. I want to set that to Control and E. I don't know what Control and E is set to by default, so I'll just go ahead and take a look. It said it had a key conflict, and looking through here, I don't really see anything. So I should be able to not have it in my hand and Control E to open it up. And so now we can put it into our belt slot, which is this right here, and Control E. Oh, that's so nice. And we can open this, and I don't have to keep running back and forth over and over again, up to 64 blocks for now. But once we have a tier 1 beacon, we can access it anywhere in the world. So now that that's done, let's actually see what this entity radar does. I'm very, oh, that is, it has a very long cooldown, but that's pretty cool. Is that just any entities? So any entities that may be nearby within our range, or whatever the range is of this, we can use, but it does have a very long cooldown. So as useful as that may be, I mean, maybe it would help with raids, possibly. I mean, the bell kind of does the same thing. This is like a portable bell. There we go. So we can see the entities within a certain range. Now, since we're on the topic of cool gadgets, let's go ahead and use these precision mechanisms to make 2 of my favorite items. Well, one of them is my definite favorite, and that is a building wand, which is going to utilize the 1 ender pearl that I currently have. And I also want to use this precision mechanism, which we can see all of these cool recipes over here. I want to use it to also make an extendo grip. So now the first one on the list is going to be the extendo grip. Now this is going to use my back tank. So I should be able to just use some brass. I'm going to start up here because I do know that is on the top. Okay, so it looks like brass, precision mechanisms, then the sticks, brass, precision mechanism, some sticks here for the extendo arm, and then the pointy finger. And then we can craft this. By the way, if you do craft this and it is not the right recipe, it'll go all the way down to the bottom. It'll spin up, and then it just spits the items everywhere, which is kind of funny. But there we go. So now we have a cool little new gadget called the extendo grip. So the extendo grip goes in your offhand and allows you to use things in your offhand. So if I wanted to remove this, I can do that. And if I wanted to use my pick at a long distance, I can do that. If I wanted to place a block at a long distance, I can now do that. And so this shouldn't take durability unless we don't have our back tank equipped. So let me go ahead and remove this. And then our extendo grip, as you see, just took some durability, which is unfortunate, right? If we go ahead and fill this back up, this shouldn't take durability so long as we have air, compressed air, to utilize it. So it's something you got to keep in mind with the extendo grip, but it does allow you to have some really nice reach distance, which could be helpful. So now with my back tank back on, we can see that the durability is just fine. And then I can start to put this here, and it just will, I don't know if it uses any of the pressure, just so long as you actually have some pressure. It's really hard to tell for me. It looks like we are good. Yeah, it doesn't look like it consumed any pressure, at least just using it right now. But this will also like work on your sword and stuff. And apparently it also works on the gun. However, it makes it quite a bit harder to use the gun. So yeah, and the reload animations are completely gone when you're using it. It's actually, that's hilarious. But okay, so now that we have this, which this will actually help us place items into here, I believe. Let's go ahead and make one of my favorite items. It's the Wand of Symmetry. And this is probably one of the most overpowered items in Create. There's a lot of overpowered items, but this one is incredibly overpowered. And so it's going to require an Ender Pearl. And so that's going to go there. And you can see the extendo grip actually working like fantastic right now at placing these items into this wall. So precision, ingot, and then this. just like so. Precision, ingot, and you can see our reach distance is quite far, actually. I'm all the way over here, and I'm placing items in. Like, how far can we reach to touch this button? Like, I am all the way out here. It looks like this far. I can push the button from all the way over here. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks away. Holy smokes. But yeah, this thing is beautiful. So this is a builder's dream tool right here. But it also has some other uses. So let's first shift right click in here, and we can see we have mirror once, rectangular, and octagonal. These are really, really cool modes. The mirror, you can also change the axis, but the best way to use mirror is by placing it down, and then you can just change the direction by the place you're looking. But if you have it set in mirrored mode, let me grab an iron block, for example, or just any blocks like copper. If I place a block here, it's going to place it in the exact same coordinate over here, or exact same opposite mirrored coordinate, just like that. And if I was to change this direction like that, it will also do the same here. But take in mind, it will also break the items as well. So if the same items are in that direction, it will also break them. So this is a fantastic item, and you also right click in the air to remove this. The other modes, by the way, if you shift right click, for example, octagonal is basically like building 1/8 of a build. So you place this down, and if I wanted to build like a circle, I mean, you just basically have to build 1/8 of it, and this will do the rest. It's kind of amazing. And breaking it down, same way. If I was to change this, for example, to rectangular, this is like 1/4 of the build, so I would only have to build 1/4 of it, and it would fill in the rest, right? And so then the other one is, of course, half of the build. So that's one way to look at this wand of symmetry, but it does have another use. It has actually a crazy use, and that is that underground you can use it to mine stone. And this is a very weird thing, but if I have this mirrored like so, and I'm breaking stone, if I break the stone here and they're both the stone, you can see that I'm actually getting that stone. And it's happening. And I don't even know if it's utilizing durability. So we don't have a way of seeing durability without hitting F3 and H. So now I should be able to see durability. We see it's 628. If I break this, 628. So it did take off the durability for breaking that other block. So keep that in mind. It actually does use up the durability, but it's still letting you mine twice as fast. And if you were doing the octagonal, you could mine out an entire area 1/8 of the time that it would take you to mine it. I cannot wait to utilize the Wand of Symmetry. It is just a fantastic tool. Keep in mind though, like I mentioned before, it has to be a matching block. So if you break stone, stone has to be on the other side for it to break. If you break iron, iron has to be on the other side for it to break it. It will not just break willy-nilly. Wow, willy-nilly is such a weird word, and I can't believe I just said that. So now with these tools, I now have the ability to start building, and that's what I'm excited for. So within the next couple of episodes, this whole base is going to start to transform and turn into a create masterpiece, or so I hope. I hope that's what I do with it, because sometimes my brain doesn't let me do things, but I'm going to try my best to sort of transform all of this. And we first have to start with, well, getting a very nice centralized source of rotational energy for the create mod. And without having steam turbines for right now, we're going to be using large water wheels, and then we'll just start to spread that power throughout the base. But guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. More adventure to come. I know that a lot of you guys are probably looking forward to some more adventure, and I am too. We're going to be preparing ourselves very, very soon. I need to do some more mining, get some more diamond, and get myself trimmed up. And I think we're going to be pretty good for the adventures to come. Oh boy. Well, guys, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go out to Renz. Thank you so much, by the way, for your amazing support, supporting me over on Discord and becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible. I appreciate you. I thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And of course, like I just said, as always, thanks for watching. Bye!